What's time?
It's showtime!
Police departments fight the war every day.
Put your hands up!
Lay down. Lay down.
Police, that's what!
When we fight against drugs, we fight for the souls of our fellow Americans.
Get down! Get down!
There's pressure on police to do more.
Pressure from the politicians or pressure from the community to do something about it.
Jerry Oliver is Detroit's police chief.
It puts policing in a position of being involved in tactics that are desperate.
Police!
What does he mean by desperate?
Since the transactions are normally between a willing buyer and a willing seller, it causes the police to snoop.
Out-of-state tag, 9-5.
To sneak, to stoop, and to snare individuals sometimes in ways in which, even though I'm in the business and I know that it is legal, it's questionable.
It's clear down there. You can send those decoys in.
He may say it's questionable, but on this day, his officers are out on the street pretending to be dealers. Dozens of people drive up and ask to buy drugs. Then the cops radio ahead.
14, she's out now. You can come make your move.
They tell uniformed officers, arrest the customer.
What's the problem?
You know what you did then, right?
Nothing. I was attempting to buy some purchase of marijuana.
That's all you had to say, ma'am.
50 police officers were involved in this sting, though most of those arrested were trying to buy less than $25 worth of pot.
Okay.
Even when they make a big seizure. The head of narcotics isn't convinced that they're making progress.
Last year we had probably our largest cocaine seizure in history. However, it hasn't seemed to have an impact on drying up the amount of drugs that are actually coming into the city.
Hasn't had an impact. That's the story all over America. In the past 10 years, arrests have gone up nearly 50%. But the number of users and the supply of drugs has stayed about the same.
Bingo! Got it? That's more?
Are we making progress? Absolutely.
Asa Hutchinson, President Bush's choice to run the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration, travels the world telling people we're winning the drug war.
Overall drug use in the United States has been reduced by 50% over the last 20 years.
But was that because of government's policies? Or was it just people wising up after the binges of the 70s?
Drug use is down. It's not down lately. Last 10 years, it hasn't dropped.
We have flatlined. I believe we lost our focus to a certain extent.
It's hard to see how we lost focus, because you're spending more.
I don't believe that we had the same type of energy devoted to it as we have in certain times in the past.
It's not clear how you'd measure energy, but federal spending on the drug war has kept going up. It's up 50% over the past 10 years. And President Bush wants still more.
To reduce illegal drug use in America.
And that's just the Washington money. Cities and states spend still more.
Up to 3/4 of our budget somehow can be traced back to fighting this war on drugs.
3/4 of the budget. Yet the drugs are as available as ever.
Didn't I just ask you if you had some heroin on you?
I didn't even have that's in my pocket, man.
Since the arrests failed to stop the sellers, a newer tactic is to have authorities go after buyers.
Have a good day.
Here in Detroit, they're confiscating cars.
This vehicle now belongs to the City of Detroit's Narcotics Bureau.
This officer's car, now chasing down a drug buyer, was confiscated on a previous raid. They've taken so many cars, the police lot looks like a dealership.
Can I take my truck home or no?
No.
It costs people $900 to get their car back.
We're taking cars, we're taking property, we're taking houses.
Taking them and selling them. They bust up the furniture just to get rid of it. They don't even save the TV sets. Too much trouble, say the police. We just want to clear out the house and sell it.
Wonderful. Wonderful. They should take it.
Most of the neighbors are thrilled.
Good. Take the house. Take the one next to it. Take the furniture and take the owners to court.
But when government confiscates houses or cars and sells them, it keeps the money. The drug war gives officials an incentive to take more. Is this what we want? All the seizures? All the arrests?
We will never arrest our way out of this problem. All you have to do is go to almost any corner in any city. It will tell you that.
Oliver was once a big believer in the drug war. Not anymore.
If we did not have this drug war going on, we could spend more time going after robbers and rapists and burglars and murderers. That's what we really should be geared up to do. Clearly, we're losing the war on drugs in this country.
You told me you was gonna stop selling dope. Remember that?
It's insanity to keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Insanity? It's an odd statement from a police chief, but we hear the same frustration from others. In 1998, we visited this neighborhood in the Bronx, a neighborhood struggling with drugs and crime. 4 years and 15,000 narcotics arrests later, the drug dealers are still everywhere. The kids know where they are.
Every single block. Find over there, over there, down there.
And the violence is constant. Every week they hear gunshots.
I fear for my child. I mean, every morning she walks to school. What am I supposed to do? Buy her bulletproof vest? I mean, this is really serious.
Gunshots going off 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. I'm scared.
The government says we're winning the war on drugs.
Well, not on Briggs Avenue and 196th Street, they're not.
The only reason that coke is worth that much money is that it's illegal. Pure cocaine is 3 times the cost of gold. Now, if that's the case, how are you going to stop people from selling cocaine?
Father Joseph Cain is a priest in that Bronx neighborhood we saw earlier.
Peace, my brother. God bless you.
He's come to believe that while drug abuse is bad, drug prohibition is worse, because the black market does horrible things to his community.
There's so much money in it. I mean, it's staggering.
The war on drugs designed to help Americans has had 3 unintended consequences. First, it sucks children into the underworld. Second, it corrupts cops. And third, it creates crime. Let's take them in order.
We are recruiting children in the Bronx, in barrios, and all over the nation because of drug money.
Judge James Gray is a Superior Court judge in Orange County, California, who spent years locking drug dealers up. But now he's concluded it's pointless, because drug prohibition makes the drugs so absurdly valuable.
The money to be made from the sale of illegal drugs is a bigger problem than the drugs themselves.
Judge Gray drove with us through Father Cain's neighborhood.
Why should a kid in this neighborhood work in this corner grocery when he can make 5 times the amount of money in an afternoon selling drugs?
Is that right? Is the money that good?
Yeah. That's how I started out. I saw all the things that the drug money was getting other people.
These young men, now ex-cons, say they were sucked into the drug trade by their local role models, the dealers. They were the cool people in the neighborhood?
Yeah, you can say that people looked up to.
You see somebody, you know, they got a fancy car, and they got nice jewelry, and all the girls are after them, you know, and you just get that, you know, that mentality that that's the right thing to do.
What guy would look for a job if you can make $300 a night? I mean, it's almost un-American to say, I can make this much money, but I'm not going to do it.
It's economics 1A. The drug money is corrupting our children. It is corrupting our law enforcement officers.
Corrupt cops. That's the second unintended consequence of drug prohibition. Cops like these are seduced by drug money. They have been for years.
While you were in uniform and on duty, did you commit thefts?
Yeah.
What would you steal?
Money and drugs.
Money and drugs. The temptation's so huge.
123 4
Here, the man on the right, a San Antonio cop, waits to be paid after delivering what he was told was 20 pounds of cocaine. His take is $3,000.
$3,000. God dang it.
He eagerly scoops up the money.
With all of the money, with all the cash, it's easy then to purchase police officers, to purchase prosecutors, to purchase judges.
This drug dealer used to make $20,000 a weekend with the help of the police. So the cops know and just...
Of course, how else are you going to exist? It's not like it's a big covert operation. It's out in the open. The cops are just another game.
Most of the time when you dealt, you had some cops on your payroll?
Of course.
The third and probably worst unintended consequence is the drug crime. Films like Reefer Madness have told us people take drugs and just go crazy.
You're crazy. Take it easy, kid.
But think about it. In reality, do people go crazy, get violent because they're high on drugs? Rarely.
Most of our violence comes from the fact that it's illegal.
The violence happens because dealers arm themselves and have shootouts over turf.
An innocent bystander is hit during a shootout.
And the violence happens because addicts steal to pay the high prices for drugs. Nicotine is about as addictive as cocaine or heroin, but no one's knocking over 7-Elevens to get Marlboros or Budweiser.
Most people are not afraid of the legal pushers. They're not afraid of the supermarkets selling alcohol. I don't see them shooting each other. But if you make the substance illegal, they will use violence because there's no other way of handling the problem.
That's what happened in the 1920s when government made alcohol illegal.
For 13 years, the idiocy continued.
It was alcohol prohibition that gave rise to criminals like Al Capone.
Gangsterism was a natural sequel, and battles for exclusive territories erupted with a violence unparalleled in the history of law enforcement.
The people who were against alcohol were sincere, I suspect. But they didn't see the implications. We know the implications in the year 2002. We know that prohibition doesn't work for alcohol. Why would it work for anything else?